So we are all set. Sunshine on the right-hand side of the pitch, which Everton will be attacking. And away we go then. So Arsenal, heavy favourites. Can they end the calendar year with a win here against Everton? The Toffees have lost each of their last 4 WSL home games. They've never lost 5 in a row on home soil. So Everton happy to knock the ball around at the back, moving forward towards Payne. And given away and knocked back to her keeper by Katie McCabe. Annika Borber getting a run in goal at the moment for Arsenal because of injuries to other keepers. Zinsberger ruptured her ACL in October. Van Domselaar has a tendon issue at the moment. So Borber between the sticks, and 17-year-old Amy Lydiard, the substitute goalkeeper for Arsenal at the moment. So now Arsenal with a bit of possession into this second minute. The Gunners in particular, as we know, extremely comfortable with possession as they give the ball away. Commentators curse nice and early in this match.
Does that happen very often, does it?
Well, we'll see over the next 90 minutes. Looking for runs and a bit of space, but happy to knock the ball around. Cooney cross out wide. Back inside to Kim Little, back in this team this afternoon. Emily Fox playing at right back for Arsenal. We're playing well forward. Side to Mead and Fox. Caldente. Star names wherever you look in this Arsenal lineup. The bench is so strong. Blackstenius is there, Olivia Smith, as we spoke about, Leah Williamson, who's waiting to make her return from injury. Here come Arsenal on the first shot of the match from Caitlin Ford. Back in the starting 11 this afternoon.
Yeah, good build-up play from Arsenal in this first couple of minutes. I think Everton are just sitting back and letting them have the ball, and the issue with that is they're going to just keep inviting the pressure. So I think it might be very similar to the Chelsea game, potentially, just based off these first few minutes. Is Everton are sitting in deep and letting Arsenal have the ball, but you know, Arsenal are going to create chances from that. So I think Everton just need to be careful with that if they're going to keep inviting the pressure. But yeah, good first effort from Ford just to get a shot off and build that bit of confidence for herself.
Courtney Brosnan again with the ball for a long time before she did anything with it. Gets it back now in dangerous circumstances. Yeah, the pattern of the match pretty much set already. Left-hand side, happy to just spray it back and forward, left to right. Everton sitting deep. As Kerry said, it's just about Arsenal, you feel, unlocking this Everton defence. Still inside the first 5 minutes, but the Gunners have dominated possession. Cooney cross out to Fox. And now to Beth Mead on that right-hand side. Towards Mead again, but well cut out by Kitagawa. Asking Gago to chase that one, but Fox does well.
It's nice, good play from Arsenal so far, isn't it? Energetic, constantly moving, and that's going to really prove difficult for Everton. I think when a team is constantly moving and players are rotating positions, it's really hard to defend. So I think for Everton today, they really need to make sure they're on the ball with their communication, because already just from this first 5 minutes, see Arsenal energised and they're really up for this game.
Here's Caitlin Ford again, pushing well forward from a full-back position. To Caldente. Slightly loose with that pass from Caldente, but she does well to win the ball back, and then Ford is dispossessed. And Everton going direct, but that should be dealt with by Woburn-Moy, and is. Kelly Gago up front for Everton. Might have a difficult afternoon. She's going to be chasing lots of balls. Just has to keep going and be resilient this afternoon.
She'll definitely cover some distance today, won't she? But I think Everton's tactic at the minute is just to try and catch Arsenal on the counter. You know, happy to defend and then just try and find the likes of Gago up top. Even in there, you know, she's a 1v1 situation against Woburn-Moy. So I think Arsenal just need to be mindful of that. You know, obviously Woburn-Moy did well to position herself and, you know, deal with it quite easily. But I think as a defender, as a former centre-back, I'd still like a little bit of cover just in case, because of that counter and the pace that Gago does have.
So Arsenal win the ball back again. And they are going to dominate possession of the ball this afternoon, no doubt about that. Last season, second in the WSL, but 12 points behind Chelsea. See the Champions League win. It was a huge victory for them, but they do want to improve their domestic form this season as well. It's a while now since Arsenal won the WSL, back in 2019. McCabe to Ford and on to Caldente. Nice ball inside to Caitlin Ford once more. Can she find space for a shot? Not quite. Everton doing well to get in her face. But again, the Gunners win the ball straight back again. Everton just can't get out of their own half at the moment. At Goodison Park, it's a healthy crowd. As we mentioned, plenty of Arsenal supporters have made the long journey as well, so there's a decent noise, decent atmosphere. Beth Mead dropping deep. And even the two Arsenal centre-backs here, Woburn-Moy, one of them able to travel easily over the halfway line. McCabe. Caldente. Now back to Steph Catley, the Australian from Melbourne. Caldente, Mead. It's all pretty tight in there. And again, Everton just can't get the ball over the halfway line.
Yeah, Arsenal doing really well, just picking up those little pockets and trying to create those 1-2s and triangles in around the centre of the pitch. So it's difficult as Everton are so deep and have got bodies behind the ball, but as long as you play quick and play off 1 or 2 touch, those chances will still open up for them.
It's like a training ground exercise at the moment, attack versus defence. Little back to Catley. Little clips the ball in, looking to the back post and Beth Mead, and it's saved right on the goal line. There was just a little juggle of the ball there from Courtney Brosnan, but Mead with the first real opportunity of the match.
Yeah, it's a great ball there from Kim Little. You can see Beth Mead clapping her teammate. Nice little dink one in, and Mead's done really well there just to rise above Kitagawa at the back. But fortunately, just went right into Brosnan's hands. But yeah, good play. And I think that's a good little tactic that Arsenal should look to use. I think when you're defending so much like Everton are, you're very much conscious of just watching the ball all the time and trying to watch the movements. And I think if players like Mead can get on the back shoulder and just create a yard or two of space, then yeah, I think that's where they might get some opportunities. But yeah, good play there certainly from Kim Little to dink a nice ball in.
I mean, if you're Mead or Russo in these opening sort of 8-9 minutes, you are surely thinking this is an afternoon where we can get amongst the goals.
Oh, absolutely. I think the team are going to have lots of possession and just about trying to create those spaces, and it'll be difficult because Everton are going to sit in so deep and narrow the space, but all you need is that 1 or 2 yards of space just to try and get a shot off. And I think Brosnan will be as busy as she was against Chelsea last weekend.
Brian Sorensen on the touchline there, the Everton boss. Very quietly spoken, calm character. But he probably does need his team to just try and settle a bit here and try and have a period of possession, because every time they have had the ball, they've lost it quite quickly. Here's another opportunity to put a few passes together on that far side. Again, it comes back to a red shirt. Here's Kim Little. Catley in her own area, but again, there's no panic. Arsenal happy to knock it about, even in their own territory. And you can see a lot of the Arsenal players just having to put their hand up to their brow and shield themselves from the sun down at that end. That's something in Everton's favour at the moment for the next 20 minutes or so, you would think. Nice ball towards Russo. Here's Russo. Lovely pass back to Caldente. It's stopped on the line, I think, by the Everton midfielder rather than the goalkeeper, but Arsenal come again. Oh, that is a lovely finish. What a goal that is from Katie McCabe. And just over the 10-minute mark, Arsenal take the lead at Goodison Park. And the Everton defence is broken.
Yeah, fantastic strike there from Katie McCabe. I think we knew it was coming. Probably weren't expecting it to come from McCabe, but in games like this where Everton are so deep, she can afford to get forward, and she loves to do that anyway. And yeah, it's a great strike from her. Absolutely what Arsenal deserve. Great ball initially by Wubben-Moyen, great run from Russo, and she's not even had a look. She just can hear and see where Caldente is. I thought the original shot was going to go in, but it was a good block off the line from Ishikawa. But comes to Katie McCabe, just bounces up real nicely. I'm not sure if she even connects with it fully, but just the way it drops. Yeah, great touch, and to hit that on the half volley, yeah, fantastic strike. She'll be really pleased with that one.
Yeah, I think the goalkeeper, Brosnan, had started moving the other way and then was just a bit too far across her goal to dive back the other way and get close to that one. So Arsenal have managed to do what Chelsea couldn't 7 days ago. They have got themselves on the score sheet, and in truth, it's been one-way traffic so far at Goodison Park. Katie McCabe, the Dubliner, brought back into the starting lineup this afternoon. Here's a chance though at the other end, but no, the offside flag goes up, denying Gago. She did look offside to the naked eye as well. What can Everton do here though, Keris, because obviously against Chelsea they were never behind, so this kind of defensive style and nicking a goal worked on that occasion, but now they are behind. They've got to come out of their shells a bit, haven't they? Yeah,
well, you know, ultimately they need to be in the possession of the ball for a start, which isn't looking likely at the minute with how dominant Arsenal are. But yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it, when managers say to sit back and defend and just let other teams have the ball. So it's good to one extent, but then when you go behind, in my eyes, you've got to start pressing again, because there's no way you're ever going to get on the ball if you don't press, which they're looking to do now. Look, okay, so that's interesting that now they have gone behind, they're pressing and winning the ball back. And
it's Arsenal this time that give the ball away. Chance for Everton. Oh, another stunning goal. And it's Hayashi again, who scored the winner against Chelsea last weekend. She's now got the equaliser against Arsenal, and look what it means to her. And out of nothing, really, it's the first time Everton have really put any sort of attacking move together, let alone created a chance. But the Japanese international has found a beauty here, and it's Everton 1, Arsenal 1.
Yeah, it's a great finish there from Hayashi. Surprised us again, but yeah, good touch at the edge. Great technique to guide it in. Keeper's got no chance, but that just comes from the press. I was worried that Everton were going to continue to sit deep and sit in, but you could see straight away from the off, as soon as they went behind, they were pressing the whole team front line, and it's paid off. It was a good press and win initially, I think, from Wheeler, and it's felt lovely to Hayashi, and yeah, take nothing away from it. It's a fantastic finish with her right foot.
Well, interesting to see what Everton do tactically now, because do they just revert to how they were playing in the first 10 minutes or stay on the front foot? Either way, they're on level terms despite having hardly any of the ball. It is 1 goal apiece, and it's game on as Arsenal straight back on the attack. Well, that really did catch us by surprise. Fox across to Beth Mead, who's staying nice and wide on that right-hand side. That will give Everton and their supporters a big lift, and as you said, what a finish it was by Hayashi. Scoring for the 2nd game in a row. Here's Kim Little. I mean, Arsenal were the creators of their own downfall there to a certain extent, giving the ball away in such a dangerous area. Fox out to Mead. Fox with an opportunity to put the ball across. to Kim Little, miscues it, deflected off her own player, Russo, and then in. Well, how unlucky for Everton to a certain extent, but it's Caitlin Ford who has got the final touch, and we've had 3 goals in less than 5 minutes here at Goodison Park. Courtney Brosnan fuming with something. I think she's talking to the referee. But it is Everton 1, Arsenal 2, and Caitlin Ford puts the Gunners straight back ahead.
Yeah, what a game so far. We're getting our money's worth, aren't we? But yeah, great play there again. Nice finish from Ford. I'm sure what Brosnan's complaining about as we watch the replay here, but again, good press. It's a great dink ball in there from Emily Fox just to find Kim Little. I thought she was going to make it herself, but it's come off Russo. I think Brosnan has kept it in, or the lines would look like he'd put his flag up anyway, so whether it's gone to Russo initially here, Olivia Ford has managed to head over the ball and just drill it in, make sure that goes right into the back of the net. But fortunate Brosnan there, it just fell right into Ford's path, and she made sure to finish it off for Arsenal.
It's a really interesting one, that, with the assistant on that far side raising his flag. We'll come back to that in a moment, because here come the Gunners again. Russo tried to cut back inside. Well dealt with by Ruby Mace back there. Oh, this is like a basketball match at the moment. It feels like that's not going to be the end of the goal scoring this afternoon. Catley comes back to Woburn Moy. Yeah, the assistant referee definitely raised his flag.
Yeah, I have a feeling it might have been Russo's goal, which she will definitely want to claim if she doesn't score again today. She'll want to score a goal on her 100th appearance. I think, yeah, either way, it's a goal for the team, but hopefully she can still get one to mark her 100th appearance anyway.
Yeah, we don't have the goal line technology, so we're relying on the naked eye, but we'll see if that goal is credited to Russo later on. For the time being, it's Caitlin Ford's goal. Here's Catley. Out wide it comes to McCabe, into a dangerous area again, deflected away from goal. As Cooney Cross, for a moment, I'm sure, thought she was going to make it 3-1.
Yeah, it's really good technique there from Cooney Cross, just to hit it on the volley, keeping it down, and Ruby Mace just found herself in the right place at the right time. I've been really impressed with Ruby Mace so far. I think she's found herself in good positions to block shots and make interceptions, so I'm sure she'll be super busy for the rest of the game. But yeah, good start from her so far.
From that replay we saw, that did look as though it was destined for the bottom left corner before Mace managed to get a foot out. Mace, club record signing for Everton, signed in August. Here come Arsenal, short corner routine, and Everton clear it away. But Mace played for Arsenal from the age of 7 to 17. So Courtney Brosnan, the Everton goalkeeper, is down with some kind of problem. Now let's see, is this Alessia Russo's goal? Off the chest, didn't know much about it. I don't know, I think from there, you can't be conclusive about that, can you? But she might claim it on appearance number 100.
The linesman definitely put his flag up straight away. They didn't. I think from his angle, he obviously sees it much better than we can from that angle. But yeah, it looks like it potentially did go in off Russo, but looks like Ford's going to claim that one.
If it is Russo's goal, it will be one of the more unusual of her career. She scored 50 goals in her first 99 WSL appearances. The second most of any English player through their first 100 games in this competition, behind only Fran Kirby. Brosnan still here down and getting attention. Hayashi's goal, by the way, for Everton. She's only managed a goal involvement in back-to-back matches once before in the WSL. That was in May 2024. But this injury break allowing both coaches to just give a few messages to their team. Slagers, I'm sure, will be really frustrated that Arsenal have conceded, having been so dominant in this opening 20 minutes or so. We can see the stats there. Look at that, 88% possession. That is absolutely stunning at any level of football.
I don't think I've seen a stat that high before, have you? Is that a record, or what about you from your experience?
I mean,
it's pretty high, isn't it?
I mean, anything in the 80s is incredible. So 88 is a bit nuts, to be honest. And 8 shots already. 2 of them have gone in. Courtney Brosnan looks as though she's okay to carry on. Everton's player of the season in the 2023-24 season. And they could do with Brosnan staying fit out there, because she's going to be very busy this afternoon, it looks like. So Arsenal again happy to build up patiently from the back. Cooney cross. To Wubben-Moy, and Arsenal really content to play with just 3 at the back this afternoon.
We had Beth Mead dropping in there into a central position as well, so like I mentioned earlier, the players are just constantly rotating and trying to create those overloads, and that's going to be really difficult for Everton to manage, because you think you've just got one player near you to mark in your position, but then when others are drifting in, again she's doing it here, look, Beth just drifting inside and trying to find pockets of space in that 10 position, so they're really clever from Arsenal. It'd be interesting to see how Everton managed that throughout the game.
Here's Caldente. So calm in possession, finds Wubben-Moy, and out to Fox on the right-hand side, who has space to run into, past Hayashi. Russo. Back to Mead and back to Wubben-Moy. Again, Everton sitting deep with 2 banks of 4, and Gago even getting back to help out as well. So often Everton have all 11 players behind the ball. Catley and oceans of space in the centre. McCabe to Ford. Maybe the 2 goal scorers. Certainly McCabe, one of the goal scorers. Ford and Russo will have to argue the second one out. Catley to Ford on this left-hand side. Nice ball back to Catley, who gets the cross in. Clever little touch from Russo, but not enough power on it to get past Brosnan.
Yeah, I can see what she's trying to do there, just trying to guide it in with the outside of her boot, but didn't quite get enough power on it. I think she was trying to use the power of the cross just to guide it in, but good run initially and did well to get across the defender, but yeah, right into Brosnan's arms in that one.
Well, we mentioned the assistant referee's flag going up. The officials are giving that second Arsenal goal to Russo. So they'll have a discussion about it in the dressing room, I'm sure, at half-time, those two, because Caitlin Ford will desperately want the goal.
Yeah, Russo will please then. She won't realise it at the moment, but maybe they'll tell her at half-time it's gone to her.
Another rare foray from Everton into the Arsenal half. Hayashi, their goal scorer. To Fernandez and Mace. Mace looking for runners. Instead goes square to Fernandez. A little bit short. Brosnan well out of her goal. Living dangerously. Here's Wheeler.
It's good to see Arsenal pressing. I know in the week in the Champions League game against FC Twente, they were kind of holding back and weren't really pressing as much as they normally do. And I think, you know, with the quality of players that Arsenal got and the fitness levels of the players, they can definitely afford to do that and win the ball high and counter from there. So it's good to see them pressing a little bit more there and putting Everton under pressure.
Here's Ishikawa wearing Rion on the back of her shirt. Japanese international centre-back. Everton signed 3 Japanese internationals this summer, and she's one of them. Gives the ball away again, though, and Everton just not able to string too many passes together at once. That's a nice turn and pass from Cooney Cross, and Arsenal can come down the right-hand side with Fox. Mead going out further wide. Simple give and go with Fox, and suddenly Arsenal are up level with the Everton penalty area.
Really like Emily Fox. I think she's a brilliant player, not just as a defender, but always wants to bomb forward, and she's basically another attacking option for Arsenal, isn't she? The amount of crosses and contributions in an attacking sense that she provides for the team. So always good to see her getting forward for Arsenal.
Forward, back to Little, the skipper. Oh, Little fancy a shot here, goes for the clip cross instead. Given away inside their own box by Everton. Slight miscontrol from Caldente. Camped out on the edge of the Everton area, and that's going to be a free kick. Well, danger here for the Toffees, giving away a free kick in a really dangerous area. Beth Mead, the player, brought down.
Yeah, had a little scream. She just got there just in front of her, Yashi, didn't she? And yeah, really good position now for Arsenal to try and extend their lead. I'm sure there'll be plenty of players around this one. It's like Caldente, McCabe, well, 5 of them. They all fancy some kind of contribution.
They do have a tremendous record over Everton. Do Arsenal, 19 wins against them. The only team they have a better record against is Liverpool with 20 wins. Courtney Brosnan has to prepare as if she's going to be tested here. Caldente wearing her first name, Mariona, on the back, number 8 there, and Russo over the ball as well with Katie McCabe. Feels like it might be better for a right footer, this one. They're quite tricky, aren't they, Kerry's free kicks, when they're right in the centre like this? Yeah,
it's a difficult one. I guess you go off where the ball is and where the keeper's positioned herself, but Courtney Brosnan's just stood right in the middle, so making it difficult for the players to decide, but potentially might be McCabe the way it's getting set up.
McCabe with her left foot, or Russo with the right, or maybe something clever. Didn't connect with that at all. But Arsenal do win a corner. It's perhaps just a little bit careless by Mace, because I think she had way more time than she realised there and conceded a corner.
Yeah, it wasn't too clever at all, I don't think, from Arsenal there. Not sure what McCabe was trying to do, whether she was just trying to drill it under the wall, thinking they might jump up and try and win it in the air, but still got a corner out of it anyway, so let's see if they can make the most of this opportunity.
You can see the mass ranks of Arsenal fans at the top of that stand in their red colours. Corner comes in. Not quite dealt with by Everton so far. Should now be able to get the ball away, but not that far. And Arsenal are going to come right back at them, you feel. Cooney cross. Ball comes in, it's going to be another corner. Everton doing a heck of a lot of defending at the moment.
Yeah, good defending there again by Ruby Mace, positioning herself really well, and a nice driven crossing there from Russo, but Mace has done well just to get in the way and knock it out of danger.
We haven't seen too much of Everton's attacking threats, have we? Vinola, Gago, Mamiki. Not seen too much of them so far. 28 minutes gone. Corner for Arsenal. Whipped him with the left foot, lofted, and Brosnan spills it, but regains the ball.
She'll be relieved about that one, won't she? Thought initially she'd done well to come and claim the ball, but then just slipped through her fingers. Luckily, didn't fall to an Arsenal player, and yeah, she's done well to collect the ball there, but yeah, she'll be relieved about that one, I think.
And Everton again trying to build from the back, but it is not working at the moment at all. When you were playing Keris, would you have liked to have been in one of these defences where you're asked to kind of knock it around at the back and build up slowly?
Yeah, it's very different. I certainly think back to when, start of the WSL, teams probably didn't play as much football, but I was definitely part of teams that, yeah, we had to do that. I remember under Mark Skinner, we had a very good team, and he loved that possession-based football. So I think as long as you practice it and it comes off in training, then ultimately, yeah, you're a footballer, so you should be able to play out those tight positions. But
here's Russo. Good save from Brosnan. Russo annoyed with herself, should have finished that one.
Yeah, it's good turn from Russo there. She's done well to use her body. You can see what she's trying to do, open up her body and try and get it down that right-hand corner. I think Brosnan read it really well, and another good save from her. And another corner now for Arsenal. Arsenal
totally dominant in terms of chances, but only 2-1 up. And As Everton showed us earlier, anything can happen. Caught us by surprise with their equaliser to make it 1-1. We had 3 goals in the space of 5 minutes if you're just joining us. Corner again, lofted over the penalty spot and off the top of Russo's head and out for a goal kick. But yeah, I mean, the goalkeepers are having to really now play football and be comfortable on the ball as well.
Yeah, no, I was going to finish off before Russo had a chance. It's just a different game nowadays, isn't it? You know, you can try and look to play out against some of these top teams, but it's really difficult. You know, the physicality of the game is now different. Teams are pressing a lot higher than they probably used to, and yeah, you don't want to be giving the ball away at the back to players like Russo and Ford and Mead, who with one chance can finish it off. So definitely a more risky game these days to try and play out the back, but teams still want to do it, don't they?
Everton again losing possession in their own half, but actually throwing goes their way. 10-1 on the shots now in favour of Arsenal, but still only 2 of them have found the net. And Russo definitely would like that previous chance back again, because anything slightly wider of Brosnan would have been 3-1. Slagers will know that they need to make this dominance count in terms of another goal at least to give themselves a cushion. Sorensen never gives anything away, does he, with his facial expressions? You can never tell if he's happy or frustrated.
Yeah, he's clapping and trying to encourage his team to stay in it. And he spoke at the beginning of the game, didn't he, about sticking with it in those hard moments. And yeah, it's hard as a player when you're just constantly not in possession of the ball and having to chase and just maintain your shape. But like I say, any lack of concentration from Arsenal, or you know, if Everton do eventually decide to press and go for it again, then yeah, that's where the chances come. Sorry, and that's what he actually did earlier and made the most of it. It's just about being patient, I think, but at some point you do have to go and press and try and win the ball.
Second longest serving manager in the WSL, Brian Sorensen. This is a good run from Cooney Cross, but just that ball, well, you can see what she was trying to do. But Caitlin Ford had moved forward, the ball went behind her from Cooney Cross. Everton are winless in 22 league games against Arsenal. They actually won their first ever meeting in the WSL against Arsenal, 3-1. That was back in July 2011, but they haven't won since.
That's such a crazy stat, isn't it?
Yeah. What were you doing in July 2011, 14 years ago?
Yeah. Well, I remember that Everton team. It would have, I think, had players like Jill Scott, Tony Duggan, and they did have a really good team when, yeah, that was the launch of the WSL, wasn't it? So it's just crazy to think that Arsenal have won or drawn every single game since then.
Yeah, I mean, if you went back and told that Everton team, OK, you know, well done, you've won today, but you're not going to win another one of these for at least 14 years, they wouldn't have believed you. Yeah. Here come Arsenal again. Caitlin Ford striding forward. Mead under pressure gives the ball to Gago. Should be a free kick to the Toffees. No, referee Stacey Pearson says play on. The Everton player is down and holding her face, so I think the referee has now spotted that. Looks like she's just taken a knock around the eye area, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure if someone just slipped and fell on top of her. Looks like she's got a bit of a sore head there. I think it's McCabe, but she's... Yeah, couldn't see if he just sat on her potentially, but yeah, hopefully nothing too serious and it'll get sorted. Yeah,
it's Mamiki Down, born in New York actually, to Japanese parents, joined Everton this summer after a season and a half with Leicester City. Slagers giving instructions to Beth Mead over there, and as you've mentioned, Keris, actually we've seen Mead dropping deep at times. That was the opening goal for Arsenal from McCabe. Straight away then, completely out of the blue, if you excuse the pun, Everton equalising through Hayashi, and then just moments later it was 2-1, and the officials say that was the goal there over the goal line from Russo. Ford makes sure, but it does look as though it's going to be Russo's goal.
Yeah, I think that's a goal in Russo's career, one of the most unexpected. I don't think she was expecting it at all. It's kind of just hit off her chest and gone in, so...
And I'm not sure, Keris, I don't actually feel as though Russo was trying to claim it there. I don't think she ran over to Ford sort of even even kind of jokingly saying it's my goal, you know, back off kind of thing.
Too modest and humble. If that was me, I'd definitely be claiming it. But yeah, she's, like Renee Slager said before the game, she's very, very humble. But yeah, if that was me on my 100th appearance, I'd definitely be looking to claim that one. And yeah, I'm glad it's gone to her in the end.
Scored England's equaliser famously against Spain in the Euros final this summer. Alessia Russo. So grandfather was from Sicily, hence the Italian surname. We're underway again. An Arsenal player's actually gone down, just off camera, but play goes on. And here's Gago. Not much space over on the right, although there was a touch in there from the Everton forward there, but it's just crept wide.
Yeah, and again, another good opportunity on the break for Everton, and yeah, I think they need to really utilise the pace of Payne here on that right side. But nice touch from Gago initially, and good switch of play to find Payne, who's in acres of space over this side. I wonder if her touch maybe could have been a bit more positive, just to really break into that space, but she does well to cut back, and little chip ball in there to Gago, but good pressure there from the Arsenal defender to do enough just to make sure she doesn't get a clean contact.
Can't quite tell. Is that Beth Mead down? And you can't quite tell. Yeah, it is Mead, and she's just taken one on the top of the foot by the looks of it.
Looks a sore one, that. It's going to be a big bruise, I think. They're always the worst ones, right around your ankles, because then when you try and come back and get back into training, and those bruises in and around the ankle, and you're striking balls again in training, there can be sometimes the worst pain to try and come back from, but hopefully it's nothing more serious than that.
So another opportunity to have a bit of a drinks break and take on some information from the sidelines. Beth Mead down at the moment. Famously won BBC Sports Personality of the Year in 2022, and Chloe Kelly, her teammate, not in action this afternoon because of the injury, playing for the Lionesses just recently, but Chloe Kelly in that shortlist for this year's award alongside Hannah Hampton. But we hope Mead is okay. A proper great of women's football in this country. She's back on her feet, but let's see if she can carry on. 30 years old now. Still a big hero in her native northeast, where she started her career with Sunderland. Incredible career, approaching 250 appearances for Arsenal now, and Slagers will hope that she can continue.
Yeah, I remember a young Beth Mead at Sunderland, yeah, many years ago, and yeah, it's really great to see just how far she's come. You know, I imagine she probably didn't ever imagine she'd go on to achieve what she has, you know, with club and country, but yeah, like you mentioned earlier, definitely a WSL legend, isn't she? And yeah, just good to see her still playing and doing so well in an Arsenal shirt.
A loose ball from the back from Arsenal, but they get the ball straight back, and it's a quick throw in. And it's to Russo. Mace comes across. And actually Mace does well again. But it has been given as a corner. It's a good battle, that, between Russo and Mace.
Yeah, it's been a good battle so far. I wasn't sure if it came back off Russo. Let's have a look with the replay. Yeah, I think potentially should have been a goal kick, but the referee didn't see that one. So fortunate for Ruby Mace there that she didn't get the right decision.
So a corner that shouldn't really have been. Good to see Beth Mead coming across to take the corner. So we're approaching half-time. 39 minutes on the clock almost. And after that flurry of goals, Everton have managed to keep Arsenal out since. Corner from Mead doesn't get past the near post, but she'll try again. Wheeler with a slight miscue. Arsenal 8 points behind Manchester City. Another Mead corner. Oh, it was over Brosnan, who went for a punch and completely missed it. Cooney cross up against Gago. Cooney Cross does well, really well.
Yeah, it's good play from Cooney Cross. It's always, you're trying to come up against Gago. She's quite a physical character, but she's done well there to leap up and challenge her for the ball. And yeah, it's nice to see her playing. I really rate Cooney Cross. She's a real good young technical midfielder, so nice to see her getting some more regular minutes.
I'm told that she spent a lot of time this summer training with Miles Lewis-Skelly from the Arsenal men's team, which is good to see. Cooney Cross, 23 years old now. Here's Wubben-Moy. Forward to Kim Little, back in the team today. The captain asked to put in a burst of speed. Fox out to Mead. Mead has definitely stayed really wide throughout this match, and it's created space inside for the likes of Caldente there, who can't quite get on the end of that one. Was runner-up in the Ballon d'Or, Caldente. We've not seen the best of her so far today, but always comfortable in possession. That's
good run from her, but I think she'll just be disappointed with the touch. I think that's kind of sums up Arsenal hard. They've had some great play, good movement, good positioning, but just that final touch or that final shot just hasn't quite come off for them. So I think Slagers will just want to see if they can just tidy up a little bit, be a bit more clinical with the passing and the shots. I think they've had some good chances, haven't they? What is it, about 10 shots or so? Seems to be a bit more clinical with those now in the second half.
Yeah, the shot count quite remarkable, running at 11-2 now. But still only 2-1 in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Here is Caldente, also WSL Player of the Season last year. Kim Little. Thought about a first-time shot, curled cross to Russo, but it was always difficult, that one. It was always just curling away from Russo.
Yeah, she's stretching a bit there, but great initial build-up play from Arsenal, just picking up those pockets again and playing around Everton, making it difficult. And so nice dink ball in there from forward, but yeah, just a bit too far for Russo to really direct it back. You can see what she's doing, but yeah, just a bit too high and off balance. But good play there again from Arsenal. They're certainly finishing half strong.
So Everton passing it out from their own area again. This time they do just about keep the ball, and here's Gago. Now this is an opportunity before the half-time break. Tony Payne moving into the area. Well, they do hang on to possession, but they've been forced right back into their own half again. They just can't make it stick up top at the moment, Everton. Fernandez. Wheeler the short option. Not a great deal of movement up ahead. And Arsenal at the moment, you can see on the right hand side of your pitch, are just able to keep that nice straight defensive line. Oh, that's a loose touch from Wheeler to Russo. Be a big difference psychologically going in 2-1 down versus 3-1 down. Everton just need to stay firm for another couple of minutes. There will be a bit of added time as well for a couple of stoppages we've had. Here's Fox. Everton stop the Arsenal throw-in. Only get it away as far as McCabe. And that's been a feature, hasn't it? When Everton do repel an Arsenal attack, they're never able to hold on to it for very long themselves. No,
it's difficult. And you've got players of Arsenal's quality, and they're just on you like a rash, aren't they? As soon as they lose the ball, they're trying to win it back. And yeah, it'd be interesting whether there is a change of tactic from Everton in the second half, especially if the game stays the way it is. You know, only one goal difference between them, but we've seen it already. When they do actually try and go and press, they win it, and that's where they scored the goal. So it will be really interesting to see whether they do change tactic or stay like this for the maybe first half of the second half and then go for it at the end. But like I said before, when you sit off like this, it just creates opportunities for Arsenal to just come on the attack. So yeah, I think Everton were pleased, like you said, going into the break, just with the 2-1 difference. But Arsenal are definitely looking to come out and get more goals in the second half.
Brosnan across her own 6-yard box. It's a dangerous, dangerous game to play, particularly against this Gunners forward line. And we're going to have 7 added minutes, I'm told, so there is actually plenty of time still for Arsenal to try and grab a third before the break.
7 minutes additional time.
We spoke about overplaying just at the back from Everton. Sometimes you just got to boot it long. I think Brosnan there, on reflection, just needed to get that long and get it out of the way, especially when there's so many players in and around the the Everton box, sorry.
Even from this distance, we could tell that Brosnan was questioning the 7 minutes added time. Arsenal corner in stoppage time. Delivered right to the edge of the 6-yard box, but Everton get it away just for now. To Cooney cross. Mariona Caldente across to Fox. Nice ball inside to Mead. We did have a couple of stoppages, so I'm slightly surprised it's 7. I was expecting maybe 4 or 5, but we've already played one of them.
The referee must have forgot to start a watch at the start of the game, maybe, who knows.
Arsenal on the attack once more. We've seen plenty of this kind of situation in this first half, but Russo a bit careless. Beth Mead does brilliantly to win the ball back, and then another loose touch from Russo, but it's an Arsenal throw-in. Mace has probably, her and her goalkeeper have been the 2 busiest players out there for Everton. Everton need the home support to just carry them through this added time and gets the break just 2-1 down. Catley. Nice triangle there between Caldente and Ford. Caldente. Ford puts the ball into the area. This should be Brosnan's. It is. This time goes for a quick, direct ball, looking for Payne. Mickey is there, but again, not a massive amount of movement from Gago or Payne ahead of her. There was a bit of a gesture there from Mickey, I think, as if to say, I need something from you guys. Here's Gago. Oh, lovely chip ball to Payne. Takes it well, but a bit wide, and the offside flag has gone up. Little moments of hope for Everton. Maybe not in this added time as such, but for the second half.
Yeah, it's a nice chip ball there from Gago. Good play from Amiki, and you see what she's trying to do. Unfortunately, Payne just didn't hold her run for long enough and ran offside. But yeah, Everton's still creating their chances, aren't they? They're having these moments on the break where they're definitely troubling Arsenal, and that's the tactic that's working for them. But you mentioned earlier about, you know, Everton aren't really creating space and opportunities for Mamiki, and I think that's the difference between the 2 teams in this first half. Is Arsenal are constantly on the move, the players are rotating positions and picking up good spaces, whereas when Everton have the ball, they're a bit static, and that's why they just eventually, you lose it straight away, because it's so easy as a defender to mark players when they're just static and not moving. So that's a real key difference between the teams in this half.
And Everton have still got 3.5 minutes to navigate here. McCabe in towards Ford, and Mace is there again. Nowhere really to go for Mace. It comes off Payne for an Arsenal throw-in, so the pressure's still on here. Three minutes to go in this first half. Everton 1, Arsenal 2. Last season, you might remember, Everton had to wait until the 17th of November for their first league victory. Maybe deliberately just trying to slow things down a bit and count the clock down here at the Toffees. But they've lost possession again. Kim Little. Nice touch from Mead. Through the legs of Kitagawa to Fox. Oh, that's a mistake. miscommunication between Fox and Cooney Cross. Mace does well, nodding it back to her keeper, Brosnan. Fernandez out to Kitagawa. 2 minutes to go. The clock ticking down very slowly from an Everton point of view towards half-time. Brosnan is allowed to take as long as she wants from this situation, and she is not a dead ball. But they're not really in any hurry here, Everton, to move forward. And apart from conceding the goal, it has been pretty comfortable at the back for Arsenal. Momiki knocks it forward towards Gago, and here's Tony Payne, gives it back to Momiki. They've been forced backwards again. Hayashi, the goal scorer. I think we know where this is going to end up. Oh, I thought it was going to go back to Brosnan there, but Momiki, it might still do, you know, 45 seconds until half-time. Everton know the last thing they need is to concede a third before the break. Instead, they come forward, and here's Gago. There's no offside flag. Oh, there is now. That was a late flag.
Gago feels a bit hard done by there, doesn't she? I think she thought she was onside, but yeah, just drifted off a little bit, a couple of yards. Catley played that quite well, but again, just something Arsenal need to be aware of going into second half, that Everton are going to be looking a little bit longer. I think that is the tactic that is working for them, so just make sure they're not caught isolated at the back in 1v1 situations, because that could be, you know, a way in which they give away a goal. But
in the summer. Away we go then for the second half. Everton 2-1 down. And at some point, they're going to have to be on the front foot a lot more than they were in the first half. But we don't expect to see any great change tactically for 20, 30 minutes or so. Unless, of course, Arsenal go further ahead. Arsenal pressing straight away, and Fox doing well to win the ball, but Everton get it back, and Wheeler looks for Payne. Nice turn away from trouble by Payne with the orange boots on.
Tony, yes.
Looking for Payne again, and just miscontrol. Oh, and Arsenal give it away, maybe, do they? Kim Little in trouble. Oh, and Everton should have made more of that. Very similar to how Everton scored their first goal, actually. Arsenal seemingly comfortable. Shot slightly deflected, but no trouble for Annika Borba from Ornella Vignola.
yeah, there's good pressure there from Everton. I think that's what they need to do. We said in the first half, just when they do press and put Arsenal under a bit of pressure, that's where they're more likely to win it. So you can see they're actually trying to do it now from the off, which is great, which is good.
Yeah, good to see, especially from a neutral perspective. Good for the game. Caldente out to McCabe out there on the far side. Takes on the full-back, ball across the area, and Mee just can't quite get on the end of that. Kitagawa away down the line, but Wubben-Moy is there, and here's Fox. Inside to Cooney Cross. Arsenal made 3 changes today from the team that beat Liverpool 7 days ago. Little, McCabe and Ford coming in for Marnham, Smith and Hines. Everton unchanged from their amazing win at Chelsea last weekend. Fox manages to get the cross in. Good header by Fernandez. Gago just short of options over there, but wins the throw-in.
Yeah, another good ball in there from Emily Fox, really important. Header away from Fernandez. Yeah, good ball. Bodies in the box for Arsenal. I think Everton are naturally getting their bodies back as well, just to make sure they've got enough players to defend. I think Arsenal will definitely want to push bodies forward still, and they'll definitely want to increase that lead, won't they, and create a bit more of a gap, and then that's when we're likely to see the substitutes come on and see if they can contribute too.
Everton having more possession at the start of this second half than they did at the start of the match. But Arsenal win it back, and Caldente, one of the standout players of last season, not just for Arsenal but for Spain as well. Classic Spanish footballer, really, just so comfortable in possession. Never looks flustered on the ball. Here's Kim Little, one of those brought into the team today. Here's Mead, might think about a shot, goes for the cross instead, and Courtney Brosnan was alive to it, the Everton goalkeeper and captain. Need to stay strong defensively for a few moments longer, Everton, and they do now get it away, only as far as Wubben Moy. Arsenal camped in the Everton half. It's these positions where Everton need to use the ball better than they have done. Ishikawa into Wheeler. Here's Hayashi. 2 goals in 2 games for her. And Mace, who was extremely busy in that first half.
I think Everton just need to do this, just try and keep the ball in, invite Arsenal to come and press, because that's when the gaps in the space will be created for them to then build forward. So just that patience is key. Keeping it moving, inviting the Arsenal pressure.
Well, Mickey was trying to release Kitagawa there down the left, and Kitagawa gets the ball given to her on a plate. 5 minutes gone in this second half. So much experience in the 3 Japanese internationals that Everton signed in the summer. Here's Momiki. Fernandez goes long, looking for Payne. Fox will knock it back to Borba in the Arsenal goal. Here come Arsenal again, attacking with pace and purpose, and McCabe gets into the area. Put out for a corner by Mace, and that's all she could do really from there.
Yeah, Ishikawa's done well there, just to get her body in front of forward and enable Mace to come over and clear away. So yeah, good defending there from Ishikawa. Foot forward was in. She's done well just to use her body, and Mace, as always, all game has been in good positions just to clear it out of the danger zone.
Very promising talent, Ruby Mace. Came through the Arsenal Academy, so she is playing against a former club here. Little and Ishikawa tussling in the centre, corner loops in. I think that came off an Arsenal boot, if the referee's seen that, which he has. It's an Everton throw. When Arsenal come forward, it's often quite rapid, isn't it? Really flowing move, and Everton just haven't been able to replicate that themselves. All a little bit stuttered and a bit slower, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Arsenal are doing well to counter press and put them under pressure, but even then, you know, just knocking it on like that, it's you know, the players need to show that bit more composure and quality. You know, Everton have got quality players in the team, so that really likes the Japanese players, as we mentioned, very technical players, but just not really utilising their strengths at the minute. But coming up against an Arsenal team who just counter press and are working hard to win it back, it's easier said than done.
Everton haven't won at home in the WSL yet this season. This could be 5 home defeats in a row, which has never happened to them before in this competition. Ball's going to come here to Ford, looking for McCabe. McCabe with a chance to cross, and Russo just couldn't get enough on it.
Yeah, nice play there from Arsenal down the left-hand side. Ford and McCabe have got a nice little partnership out there, and I don't think McCabe thought he was actually going to get through to her, did she? But found herself the right side of the defender, and good ball in, but fortunately Russo just couldn't quite connect the way she might have liked.
Another offside flag denying Everton. Payne had just got ahead of the last defender. We'll look at that half chance again. Picked the right ball, didn't she, McCabe? But slightly behind Russo and just couldn't get any power on it. So similar pattern at the start of this second half. Arsenal seeing virtually all of the ball and creating the chances, but not able to find the net so far since the half-time break. And they're just getting out of tight spots, aren't they, like this? McCabe. So many good technical players out there for the Gunners. And as we said, plenty more on the bench if they need them.
I think Everton at some point will have to make some substitutions as well. I think they've been running and chasing the ball for a large part of the game, so I'd be surprised if you don't see some fresh legs from Everton as well, even if it's just to come on and and run and yeah, try and win the ball back.
Yeah, fresh legs and fresh minds as well, I guess. Ariona Caldente, little burst of speed. Mead. Cooney Cross takes it well, just gets away from her. Here's McCabe. Just has that training ground feel again, doesn't it, with Everton not able to get out of their own half. 55 minutes gone, so there's a long, long way to go here.
It definitely feels like an attack versus defence practice at the minute. But I can imagine, like we said earlier, tired legs, tired minds, and maybe even starting to set in now within this 55 minutes. So it's important Everton try and maintain their concentration. You know, they're still in the game. But it's important they just stay on it, keep communicating, checking their shoulders and seeing where the Arsenal players are running into, because, yeah, like I mentioned, still very much in the game and need one goal to get back in it.
Ball again played towards the Everton area. It comes to Fox, who's got Mead just on the edge of the area. Just needs one or two clever touches here to create the chance. Fox, left-footed cross. That one a bit short. Well, one back, and here's Alessia Russo. A burst forward and wins a corner. Everton really having to work hard at the moment. Even though it was a week ago, that win against Chelsea will have taken a lot out of them, because they spent that whole match defending as well, really, despite the 1-0 victory.
Yeah, they were definitely used to that from last week, and they're taking it into this game as well, which is good to see. And again, Mason in the right place at the right time.
Mead cuts it back for McCabe. Deep cross. Moyes cross knocked away, but only as far as Caldente. Moyes is still there, playing as a right winger at the moment. To Little. Can they get through this blue wall again? And we said, didn't we, right towards the start of the match, that the likes of Payne and Gago would be doing an awful lot of running this afternoon, and running after some hopeless balls as well, and that takes it out of you as well. So I imagine one of those two at least might be changed imminently.
I think so. No, definitely. I think it's hard work for the whole team, but especially for the forwards, because they're expected to defend now and run, but then also need to try and run and be the forefront of the team when Everton do have the ball. So yeah, difficult position as a forward, especially in games like this where you are defending for the team, and then you're expected to be the focal point and try and counter-attack that way as well.
Little into Cooney cross. You can see what she was trying to do. Kitagawa really didn't have much option there, but to put it out for another Arsenal corner. Is this pressure going to tell? Now here are 1, 2, 3 changes for Everton. Let's see what they do here.
Substitution for Everton coming off number 11.
So that is Gago, one of the forwards who's done a lot of running.
Replaced by number 25, Snoyce.
So Snoyce on for Gago.
Number 7, Claire Wheeler.
Holmgard is coming on for Claire Wheeler.
Also coming on for Everton,
And it's Mamiki who's also going to be withdrawn. Rosa Van Gool coming on. So we'll see if that results in any formation change for Everton, but 3 sets of fresh legs and 3 players who haven't spent 55 minutes chasing the ball down. They'll be mentally fresher as well. Let's see if it makes a difference.
Yeah, I think it was definitely needed. You could see some of the players were fatiguing and just mentally fatigued as well. So yeah, fresh legs, fresh minds, as you say.
Mead inside to Caldente. She'll get another opportunity through a forest of legs there, and actually Brosnan did really well to keep her eye on that one to save from the Spanish superstar.
Yeah, good hands there by Brosnan. It's difficult sometimes when a ball comes in like that and there's lots of bodies in the way. Probably didn't get a clear view on it, but still well to reach down there to the left-hand side and collect it.
So Van Gool and Snoyce, 2 Dutch internationals on for Everton. Karen Holmgaard from Denmark. And Arsenal are going to respond. And it's 2 of their superstars on the bench that are going to come on in the next few minutes. So Everton, having rolled the dice themselves, it's not going to get any easier in this last half an hour. It is still only 2-1 though. That's the thing that Brian Sorensen will keep telling his players out there. Here's Beth Mead. Goes for goal from long range, never really got hold of it. Apologises to her teammates.
Bit of an adventurous one, that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Beth Mead does have the quality to score from that position, but there were definitely better options on the left there for her to play to her teammates.
Again, Everton give the ball away in their own half. They can't keep doing that. We saw Beth Mead take a bit of a knock earlier on in the first half. I wonder if Mead might be one of the players to come off for Arsenal, but it is going to be Blackstenius and Olivia Smith coming on, and that is daunting for any opposition team. Seen hardly anything of Ornella Vignola, for example, of Everton, and they just need one of those more creative attacking players to come up with something here in the last half an hour. So here are the Arsenal substitutions. Kim Little, who was brought back into the team, being taken off on the hour mark, and it will be Beth Mead, the other player, to come off. So Olivia Smith, £1 million signing from Liverpool, comes on, and the Everton fans, I'm sure, might give her a little bit of a frosty reception, perhaps, but Blackstenius here as well. Really prolific goal scorer, and Smith and Blackstenius on the score sheet against Liverpool last weekend. Might have felt a bit miffed to not start this afternoon, but it's a squad game, isn't it?
Yeah, they're definitely wanting to come on and prove a point, I think. But yeah, you know, two great players that are coming on. As an Everton player, those are two players you don't want to see coming on fresh for the last half an hour. Didn't see whether looks like Russo's dropped a little bit deeper and Blackstenius has gone up into that focal point, but Russo's now just making that run and, you know, going into more of a front two, I think will work for Arsenal. I think they'll want to definitely increase that lead and try and create a bit more of a gap. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they go into more of a flat two up top and Mariona maybe drops a little bit deeper, sitting with Cooney cross in the middle.
The noise from the Arsenal supporters as Beth Mead makes her way around the pitch. Just taken off. Blackstenius straight into action. Arsenal's top scorer this season so far. Also scored the winning goal in the Champions League final as well. Ball into the area, looking for Russo or Smith. Doesn't come to either of them. Smith on this right-hand side, and as Keris said, Blackstenius right through the middle. Cross might come in here from McCabe. Smith tried to get onto it. Ball falls to Russo. Yoshikawa did well to be in the right place to get the block in. As well, one back for Everton from Snoyce. Payne trying to take on Fox, but Fox, absolutely superb full-back play. Arsenal just in a spot of bother here, but they somehow managed to get away, and here's Russo. As Keris said, dropping deeper now, Russo, to allow Blackstenius to be the focal point. And in a way, that suits Russo's game as well, doesn't it? Caldente to Russo. Threats all over the pitch for Arsenal. This is the support that Arsenal are getting. So many away fans have made the journey up to Liverpool, and they're being rewarded at the moment. A 2-1 lead for their team.
I think Arsenal just need to tidy up a little bit. I don't know if it's tired legs for them as well. Obviously, some of the players played in the game in the midweek, but just need to tidy up a little bit in that final ball, the final shot. I think they're obviously comfortable in possession and comfortable winning, but 2-1 still dangerous territory. You know, I've been there many times where you think you're dominating the ball, dominating possession, 2-1 up, but then some kind of whether it's a mistake or just a good counter, it can really be costly. You only come away 1 point, so yeah, I just need to tidy up a little bit and see if I can get that other goal.
We've talked about what a busy afternoon it's been for Ruby Mace at the back for Everton, and what a promising player she is. She's been up against Russo for 60-odd minutes, and now up against Blackstenius. It's two real tussles, quite different tussles physically. But Ruby Mace getting a thorough test this afternoon. And she's, well, she stood up to that test for the majority of the game, it has to be said.
That's what you want as a young player. You want to come up against the best players in the world, and she's certainly had that today, coming up against Lesia Russo and Blackstenius. So, yeah, credit to her. But as well as the whole Everton team, I think they've defended well. They've made it difficult for Arsenal. Very similar to the Chelsea game. Just need to hold on now for that. But try and nick on themselves as well down the other end, which is proving quite difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Their goal came out of nothing, really. Took everyone by surprise. Catley to McCabe and Russo. Back into Russo. Lovely turn. Pushed off the ball slightly. Referee says play on. Can Arsenal win it back on the edge of the area? Russo has stayed down temporarily.
She could have stayed down there. It's a bit of a push. I'd like to see that back, see how much of contact there was, but certainly put her off balance a little bit, didn't it? But decided to stay on her feet.
And Arsenal, we've been saying it all afternoon, but just so much possession. Now, you asked me how many times that was going to happen. That's twice now I've put the curse on them. But they have had a crazy amount of possession. We saw the stat at one point in the first half, 88% of possession, which is ludicrous, really. Everton, though, still sticking with this approach of knocking it around, keeping possession themselves if they can at the back, but once or twice it's gone awry. Fernandez forward, looking for Kitagawa down this left-hand side. Olivia Smith there being wrestled by Ayashi off the ball, but play continues. And here's Vignola. Sorry, Holmgaard. Back to Mace.
I think the possession stats for Everton have probably looking a little bit kinder, aren't they, this half? They've definitely had more of the ball. I don't think maybe been as, there you go, don't think it's been as effective, but yeah, ultimately if you don't have possession you're never going to create the chances to score, so at least that's a positive they've improved on from the first half.
They're just lacking that spark, aren't they, to do something a bit special with the ball once they get into the final third. But it is still only 2-1. And Renee Slagers will be urging her team not to get complacent here. They won't, of course, they're such good professionals, but it's still a slightly dangerous situation for Slagers and her team at 2-1 up. They desperately need a win to just keep in touch with Man City and Chelsea and the like.
Things like that, the goal difference, you know, at the end of the season, that can be a real big difference to whether a team wins the league or not. And I think, you know, just looking at some of Arsenal's results this year, they just haven't been as prolific, have they? You know, there's been 2-1s, 3-2s, 1-1s. That kind of increase in the goal difference hasn't been there, maybe, compared to other seasons. And like I mentioned, that can be a real big factor and something that comes into play at the end of the season.
So 20 minutes to go plus added time. Purely on paper, the game is still on a knife edge in terms of the score, but with the pattern of play, you feel Arsenal are more likely to get the next goal. But here are Everton down the left-hand side with Vignola. Need to see more of her, Everton, in these closing 20 minutes. Cross comes in. And into the hands of Annika Borba. Arsenal are 2 goalkeepers down at the moment because of injuries. So Borba is going to get a run in the team, and Amy Lydiard, the 17-year-old, is going to be on the Arsenal bench for a while as well, you feel?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for her, and Sophie Harwood's on the bench as well, another youngster, and it's just great for these young players just to be in and around it, you know, experience the dressing room, the build-up, watch the game and see the quality of the players, and yeah, certainly the pace of the game is very different to what they're used to probably playing in the PGA. So yeah, it's nice to see them being rewarded and being involved in the squad on match days like this.
You kind of hinted at it a few minutes ago, but Arsenal's level just has dropped a little bit, hasn't it? It's got a bit scrappy. Still lots of quality out there, though. Here's Vignola again, back to Fernandez. Holmgaard on as a substitute, Danish international. It's these positions here where Everton just are a little bit static, and sometimes they look as though they're not quite sure what to do.
if you look now, they're not really, apart from home guard, no one's really moving to really want to get on the ball, and it's just coming across and going out wide. But I think it's important to mix up your play, not be too predictable. But there you go. I mean, Vanola's getting in those little positions now, and there's more movement. It looks a bit more promising for Everton.
Back to Fernandez. Won 4 Primera Division medals during her time at Barcelona. Has studied biomedicine in the past, old Fernandez.
Yeah, us footballers do have brains as well.
Now for an Everton throw, so they need to make the most of this. We're into the closing 20 minutes, and Everton are just getting to that point where they need to go for broke a bit.
Fans are getting behind them a bit more now. I can hear a drum. I'm assuming that's potentially the Everton fans, but it's because they've had more possession, haven't they, this half? So giving the fans a little bit more to cheer about.
Hayashi looking for Snoyce in the area. Can the Everton team give their fans an exciting send-off before the Christmas break? Final WSL fixture for both of these teams this calendar year.
Got some big games when they come back there. Everton are away at Man City, so never an easy test to coming back after Christmas to face the league leaders, and then Arsenal, Man United at home, so that should be a good game, and again, really important, especially if Man United get a good result tomorrow.
Good burst of speed here, and it leads to Russo with a chance, tries to find Smith. It was Caitlin Ford with the initial burst. And here's Fox. An unlucky ricochet for Fox.
Just to find a ball again, just a bit sloppy from Arsenal. Whether it is the tired legs like we were talking about earlier, but I think just that final ball has limited them a little bit in the amount of real clear-cut chances they've been able to create.
Here is Vignola. Nobody out wide on that right-hand side. There was a bit of a shrug of the shoulders there from Vignola, as if to say, well, what am I expected to do if there's nobody out there? Fernandez into home guard. And Mace. Chip ball looking for Ishikawa, but I don't think she's going to get there.
She's asking a bit too much of her there, wasn't she? But again, good from Everton, trying to build up the play. Robinson coming on now, so if she can make an impact, the speed that she can bring to the team.
And it's Vignola coming off. Katie Robinson on loan from Aston Villa. Offers another option out wide. Back at the World Cup in 2023, she was England's youngest player, Katie Robinson. Can she pop up with something special here in the closing now? 15 minutes or so. Can't remember any real stoppages in this second half. There'll be added time for the substitutions, of course. Good turn from Russo.
Russo's really developed that aspect of her game in recent years, the first touch, away from the defender. I think it's something she's done really well, especially in this game, that touch into space and then holding the defender off, and I think that's why she can play in that more number 10 position. She's very good at holding the ball up and linking in others there. For Blackstenius then to run off, but yeah, definitely something I think she's really added to her game in the last year or so.
Now is, we'll come back to that in a moment. Looks like that may have been Leah Williamson preparing. Tony Payne did really well there, wins the free kick for Everton. It's mad, isn't it, after all these Arsenal chances and Arsenal possession, that it is just one goal Everton need to get back on terms, and what would be a fantastic draw to follow up their win at Chelsea. sure there are times when Courtney Brosnan, as captain, wants to be out there as an outfield player, because there's only so much she can do as skipper from the goalkeeper position. Here's Tony Payne. Wins a free kick. That will very much do for Everton at this stage. Gives them a set piece. Enables them to get across into the box, you would think.
Yeah, it's a really good opportunity now for Everton. Good position, opportunity to get bodies forward and really challenge for the ball in the box. See if they can make the most of it.
Well, the old-fashioned phrase, get it in the mixer here, is probably apt. Just put it in the area and see what happens. They've got a fair amount of height to call upon in that penalty area, have Everton. Free kick comes in, is it too close to Borba? Ooh, I tell you what, there was a nervous moment just for a second there for Annika Borba. But she held on to the ball, and that's the most important thing from an Arsenal point of view.
A bit of a disappointing ball there, Ian. I think plenty of bodies in the box, and you just want it to land on one of your teammates' heads, but straight into the goalkeeper's hands there. So yeah, disappointing delivery there from Ishikawa, but another Arsenal goalkeeper down.
Yeah,
see what happened there, whether she's landed funny, was it maybe?
Yeah, she sort of reacted strangely when that kind of phase of play was over, if you like, and she had the ball in her hands, and she was just wincing a little bit. We mentioned about Amy Lydia, the 17-year-old on the bench for Arsenal as the sub-goalkeeper. Pelova wearing 21 there on the left. It looks as though she's about to come on for Arsenal, but Renée Slagers and her team will be keen for Borba to be okay here.
So this could influence the substitutions if she does need to come off, but it didn't look like anything too serious. Let's hope it's not the case.
And this will all be added time, of course. The Everton fans need to get behind their team in the closing 10 minutes or so.
Looks like the club are giving out Christmas hats
before
the Christmas break, which is nice to see. Fans will be pleased with that one.
Well, there were Arsenal substitutions planned, and we believe Leah Williamson was one of the players due to come on for Arsenal. I imagine they're just waiting to see how Borba is. The last thing you want to do is use all your substitutes and then find your goalkeeper injured. Well, Caldente is coming off for Pelova, and the big cheer in the background is because we're going to see Leah Williamson come on for Arsenal. First time she's played since the Euros final in the summer for England. Takes the captain's armband. And a big ovation, I'm sure, from both Arsenal and Everton fans for the England captain. Great to see her back out there. She's been an unused substitute for a couple of games now as she makes her way back after a knee operation. But Leah Williamson back out there on the pitch, back in an Arsenal shirt. And although she looks pretty calm there, I'm sure inside she's absolutely delighted.
No, absolutely. I think when you've been out for a long period of time, there's no better feeling than getting back out on the pitch, and certainly to receive an ovation like that, not just from your own fans, but from the away fans as well. So, yeah, really pleasing to see Leah back and just building up her minutes now to hopefully get back in the first team squad, the starting 11 as soon as possible.
And Hayley Ladd has come on for Everton as well in place of Hanoka Hayashi. I mean, Williamson, by the way, has not been given a sort of ease yourself back in here opportunity, has she? She's in the centre of defence, 2-1 up with around about 10 minutes to go. So she's going to have some work to do, Leah Williamson, I'm sure. McCabe with the throw-in down the line, looking for Blackstenius. have a throw in, but it comes to nothing. Can be quite disruptive, can't it, when you get lots of substitutes coming on. The game needs to settle down again, but Everton win the free kick. And it is one of the substitutes, Rosa Van Gool of Everton, who wins that free kick off Caitlin Ford. And Everton are now pushing more players forward. They have to in these closing stages. What a result it would be if they could grab an equaliser here.
They certainly have more possession of the ball, haven't they? And just with Olivia Smith on the ball now, she's been really quiet since she's come on. Arsenal haven't really been finding her. Yeah, it's down to Everton's, increased pressure, keeping possession a little bit better this second half, and I can't tell if there's another goal which way it's going to go.
Williamson's touches of the ball being greeted by huge cheers from the travelling support. Olivia Smith with a looping ball towards Caitlin Ford. Russo's through the centre, heading towards the penalty spot. Comes back to Smith. Smith over on that left-hand side if McCabe can find her. And Mace, not for the first time today, having to swipe a clearance away. Shouldn't really be like this for Arsenal, to be honest, should it? Because of their dominance, they should be further ahead by now.
I think after the first 10 or 15 minutes, I'd have said that Arsenal would have gone on and scored a lot more. There's a chance here now with Russo.
Russo finding her way to the byline, but the cross cut out by Fernandez. They are keeping their fans on the edge of their seats, aren't they?
Keeping us on the edge of our seats too. And yeah, going back to the original point, I thought, based on the first half, Arsenal would go on to get more goals, but fair play to Everton. They've stayed resilient and kept themselves in it exactly how they did. Well, I know they went up against Chelsea last week, but stayed resilient to keep themselves in the game, and yeah, just need to keep defending. They might go and nick one the other end.
Yeah, the second half so far has been 0-0. All the goals coming in the first half. Here's McCabe with a corner, 5 minutes to go. Delivered towards Williamson. Here's Olivia Smith. Doesn't catch hold of her volley. Over the head of Cooney, cross, and it falls to the Everton player Katie Robinson on as a substitute, but the Toffees can't make the most of that, and straight down the other end come Arsenal. It's going to go out for an Everton throw-in. It's the final 5 minutes plus added time. Hayley Ladd there, confirmation that she's on as a substitute.
Yeah, I think Hayley Ladd's had a difficult season. She's not been on the pitches as much as she'd like. She's a former teammate of mine. I really rate her. I think she's a great player, so I think it's a shame she's not getting as much game time as she might have liked this season. But Everton have obviously added quality in that centre midfield. But yeah, good to see her on the pitch anyway, getting some minutes, because certainly when she was with me at Birmingham anyway, she was a quality player, and still is.
And another Everton player who started their career in the development squad at Arsenal, so a connection to the Gunners. Is Olivia Smith in a bit of space, takes it down and scores! Well, that is all it takes for the £1 million superstar to make an impact on a match. She's been quiet since coming on as a substitute, but just one bit of space, one opportunity, and for the second week running, Olivia Smith gets on the score sheet, and that surely is it now for Arsenal. It's Everton 1, Arsenal 3.
She's just pure quality, isn't she? Great player, like you said, hardly been in the game. Just one touch, brings it down, just puts her laces right through it. Doesn't really even look at where the goal is or where the keeper is. And that's a sign of a great player. It's when they just know where the goal is, and looped in, similar to Katie McCabe's goal, actually, isn't it? That looping one from distance right into that far corner. But yeah, great contribution there from Smith, and that's all she needs sometimes, that one chance, and she'll score wonder goals like that. And another goal from outside the box. I think she only scores bangers from outside the box, doesn't she?
We've seen some good goals here this afternoon at Goodison Park. Olivia Smith, the 21-year-old Canadian, Fantastic signing for Arsenal from Liverpool. Everton coming forward here, though. Tony Payne getting on the end of it. And Wubben-Moy just switched off for a moment there.
That's exactly why Arsenal needed that third goal. Just little moments like that with Payne using her pace, and I think it bounced a bit awkwardly there for Wubben-Moy, but that's just a prime example of why it's important that Arsenal did get that third goal. Could have easily been 2-2 there.
Out to Ford. Ford chips it in towards Smith, headed away brilliantly by, I think, Ishikawa at the back. And it's just what all the brilliantly skillful players do, isn't it? They can be... I mean, it's not that she was invisible, let's not over-egg it, but she hadn't had many touches, let's say, since coming on, and then just gets that one chance. You wouldn't even call it a chance, would you, from where she was and how she had to take the ball down. It's just a tremendous skill from Olivia Smith.
Yeah, that's what you pay £1 million for quality players like that, just to find those moments of brilliance and create something out of nothing.
Free kick given. Victoria Pelova pulled back. The first yellow card of the match. Late on in the match to issue one of those, really, but Fernandez goes in the referee's notebook. Probably a cumulative thing rather than a yellow just for that challenge. And time has now probably run out on Everton, a 2-goal deficit to make up. They're not going to repeat their heroics of last weekend, and they have a dangerous free kick to defend now from Arsenal.
Substitution for Arsenal coming off.
Would this be a shot territory, do you think, or a little dinked-in cross?
I think a dinked-in cross in this position here. They've got bodies forward. A bit too far in the distance, probably, to get a good strike on it.
Off comes Katie McCabe, who scored the opening goal, and a cracking opening goal it was, back in the 11th minute. Big ovation from the Arsenal fans for McCabe. And on comes Taylor Hines. So you probably heard in the background there on the PA system. 5 minutes of added time. Russo tried to take a clever free kick, backfired. Better cross in from Russo, but that's a really good claim from Courtney Brosnan. Gets going quickly as well and tries to get Everton moving. Need something special now, do Everton. Home guard inside the Arsenal half. Tries to spread it wide here towards Snoyce. Snoyce does well to Payne. Back to Snoyce.
I thought she was in there, but the defenders just did enough. But some nice little quick interchange of play. These little touches, but yeah, Williamson's just enough there just to get a toe of it, and Warbeck could come and collect it.
Yeah, it was a critical touch actually, wasn't it, when you saw it on the replay from Williamson. Brosnan coming and taking charge of that situation. 3.5 minutes to go. So Russo coming towards the end of her 100th WSL appearance. On the score sheet again today. In unconventional circumstances, I'm sure she'll admit, but they all count. And here's Russo to Fox. Snoyce wins it back and Holmgaard takes over. Holmgaard again goes direct towards Snoyce over the head of Fox. Into Kitagawa. Good cross from Kitagawa.
Important touch there from Williamson. She's got a couple of those in now, making a contribution these last 10 or 15 minutes that she's had. But yeah, good ball in there initially by Kitagawa, but Leah Williamson's positioned herself nicely just to flick it on and out for danger.
Yeah, Williamson just slotting back in as if she's been there all season. And it's Arsenal now who just have to count down these last couple of minutes. They'll move 5 points behind Man City, albeit potentially only for 24 hours or so. Man City playing tomorrow. Blackstenius up against Mace, and surely if Fernandez got a yellow card for her challenge, that will be a booking, and is for Ruby Mace. She knew that she'd got wrong side there.
Yeah, she knew what she was doing. It was a good run from Blackstenius. Just used the bounce of the ball just to try and get in behind Mace, but yeah, took one for the team there, which sometimes as a centre-back you definitely have to do. So actually a smart decision there, just to take one, try and prevent Blackstenius from getting another goal, which she normally does when she comes on.
So it's a few weeks until these two teams play again. Arsenal at home to Manchester United, Everton away at Man City. Oh, there's trouble in the area. Oh, off the bar. What an effort that was from Russo again, I think. Well, it was a great turn and shot from Russo, got some power behind it, but meanwhile, here's Tony Payne taking on Cooney Cross. That's brilliant defending from Cooney Cross. She had been beaten once, but wasn't beaten twice. Pelova, Blackstenius wants it ahead.
Great strike, wasn't it, by Russo?
Oh, brilliant, absolutely.
I think she'd have preferred to have topped off her 100th appearance with a goal like that instead of the one from the first half. Shame it didn't go in under the crossbar.
If that had gone in, she might have given Caitlin Ford the other one back.
Yeah, you're right, absolutely.
Here's Ford, beating the offside trap. Not able to get her cross in, but wins a corner. But we're into the last 10 seconds or so. I'm not even sure there'll be time to take this corner. Let's take another look at this. Crackerjack effort. Oh, rattling the posts.
Great technique there on the turn, just using the laces and the power that Russo has there, and she'll be really disappointed that one didn't go in. Would have definitely topped off her 100 appearance nicely, but Brosnan just caught in no man's land. She couldn't, so no chance of getting near to that one, but unfortunate there, it came off the bar.
Well, Russo, like everybody, waiting to see if this corner will be taken. It's Taylor Hines. Deep into added time, to the near post. And that will be that. A thoroughly deserved 3-1 victory for Arsenal and Renee Slagers here at Everton.